A blessed Beltane to you all, or a happy May Day as well. Today I am using the Quareia deck to give us, the collective, a message from Spirit. What would Spirit like us to know? So let me shuffle until Spirit asks me to stop. And we will listen to what Spirit wants us to hear. We have the Temple of Ancestors. This is a very potent, magical time. Potentially portals are being opened all over the place because ancestors are attempting to rescue their living relatives or relatives in this dimension from whatever awful things we've got coming here in the United States, because the ancestors see this empire that the United States built was actually built out of matchsticks and is in the process of burning down. So the ancestors are highly activated, but it's also talking here about having deep respect for the spaces that our ancestors tread when they cross over into another dimension. Something is being activated at this particular time in the spirit world. Things are going a little bit crazy on the other side of the veil because of what is activating on this side of the veil. It's like things are preparing to get started. There's a great big breath of air fixing to, as they say here in Texas, fixing to kick off. And it's the breath that starts a new era. I'm getting Uranus and Gemini is going to be influential for a lot of folks, and it sounds like for myself included. Take from the top and no more from the bottom. I have here female warrior. I may be speaking directly to someone who is on a spiritual journey that requires them to fight battles that they didn't consider themselves strong enough to fight, but it turns out that they are in fact made of the stuff of their ancestors, and their ancestors are praising and thanking their descendants for being so strong, for following in their footsteps, as hard as this path may be. There's going to be a lot of things popping up from the surface. Pluto in Aquarius is very active at this time. We're moving through Taurus, but we're about to move into the season of Gemini, and this is a season where Pluto in Aquarius can become quite active. It's an airy season. That makes sense. We have the Fate Giver. This is considered to be a contacted entity in a sense that magical practitioners for the Quareia way, the Quareia deck, often consider these people, these entities, someone to work with. So right now, female warrior, you are being given your fate. Or you're rising to your fate. You are meant to do something. You're meant to be something bigger here. Your ancestors are asking you to rise to something that perhaps you didn't expect to become, but you're being asked to become it anyway. This is a fight worth having. The Gate of the Past. I'm laying these cards out 3 by 3. Temple of the Ancestors. Above the Gate of the Past. Your ancestors have fought through difficult times as well, and you're meant to carry their legacy. The mantle of their legacy is what you're meant to carry with pride. This is a season for you to be one of those good people that does not stand idly by when evil starts to progress. You've got the inner librarian, someone who maintains a record, who maintains stories. You are going to fight in a very specific fashion. It's not going to be a literal fight at all. It's going to be you recording stories and telling them when it comes time for other people to hear those stories. When all of this becomes history and a new era begins, you are going to be a kind of librarian, a storyteller. You don't have to be a literal librarian in order for this to come true. And this is your act of resistance. When you keep... there's a reason, I should say, that a lot of dictatorships get rid of teachers and librarians and scientists and professors and stuff and people like that before they get rid of other people. Often, not always. It's because these people record history. They record stories. And that's what you're going to do in the future. You have the potential to fight things like fascism in the future, to fight evil in the future, because you remember how those stories went. What do they say? That the pen is mightier than the sword. Maybe you can write a book. Maybe you're supposed to be writing a book. Maybe you're supposed to be paying attention to the stories that are about to start playing out on a world stage so that you can write a book later on. Pay close attention to your surroundings. Take careful notes. If you see something popping up on social media that you know is going to go away, do what you can to preserve it. Download it in a place where it's not easily traceable, if that makes any sense. Challenge of the gods. Just on top of the fate giver. You cannot make this stuff up. You are cut out for something really, really special. If this reading resonates with you so far, you're cut out for some hard work, but for some really incredible work as well. It's not just your ancestors who are watching over this. It's gods, your deities as well. This is a fate that you were born for. And you've been through stuff in your past that got you ready for this moment, as hard as those past events were. This is going to be an incredible story for you to pass on to your children, if you have any children, or to any people who pay attention to your story. You don't have to have kids or followers or anything like that. But just for the people in your community, they're going to want to pay attention to your story because the gods, your ancestors, the fate giver, is most definitely interested in your story. You have here the protector of souls. This is an entity who protects souls as they transition into new lives. This is a maternal kind of entity. Watches over souls and protects them on their way out, because often it's not beyond the veil. It can be treacherous depending on what's going on, is what the Quareia way often believes. Okay, what this deck is dependent on. Now this is interesting. You might possibly associate this with the Lovers. This is union. This is a couple getting married. They're signing a wedding contract right here. Something's being protected on its transition into manifestation, because remember, these are souls not yet born that this entity is protecting, okay? Your ancestors have protected you in the past. And that's a role that, to an extent, that they still fulfill, But there comes a day where you need to surpass that. You need to surpass your need for protection from them, because remember, you are the female warrior, and the fact that you are a storyteller. You listen to people's stories, as horrific as they may be, and there may be some genuinely awful stories coming out of what we have coming up over the next several years at the least here in the United States. You're going to need to pay attention to that, but also you're going to need to work with people in order to protect other more vulnerable people, because once again, we've got rough times up ahead of us. Sometimes this side of the veil needs to echo what goes on the other side of the veil before souls are manifested into bodies. Okay? It looks like there's some work that the two of you, you may not have met this person yet, but it looks like there's some work that you need to do with somebody else, and this might be a romantic partnership, to be quite honest. Both of you might be storytellers. One of you might be a warrior. The other may be the inner librarian, the one who listens to stories, records them, and later on gives others, new generations, access to them so that we don't repeat history. This, in fact, looks like a partnership between two very powerful people. A union not to be taken for granted. A power couple, quite literally. You need to meet with this person. This is an arrangement that was arranged past, beyond the veil, and is meant to be manifested on the other side of this veil. For some of the high clerics, high priestesses, high priests, you are meant to come into a twin flame romantic partnership that is going to show people their inner lights, is going to show them onto their spiritual paths, that will show them how to look for light in the midst of true darkness, true terror, true shadow, and genuine evil. You are going to be the torchbearers. The two of you will be two powerful torchbearers in the midst of some genuinely horrific times for some people. You're looking at the crush of an oppressive dictatorship. You're looking at the early days of a dictatorship. You're looking at the death of a representative republic that was as problematic as it was. You need to be together with this person. Let the universe guide them to you. Let the universe guide you to them. Both ways. This is the third row. We've got a lot of heavy, powerful beyond the veil energy here. Inner companion. Within you, there is an inner light that should not be taken for granted. The Fate Giver knew this already when you were manifested onto this earth, into this particular body. This is a challenge that you are worthy of going through. Nonetheless, you are going to absolutely need to use your intuition. You are going to need to lean on your deities, on your ancestors, in order to get through this particular journey, in order also to find this particular individual that you're meant to work with. Okay? I definitely encourage you to take a look at any pick-a-card videos that are here on YouTube that might help illuminate what spirit guides you could work with, what spirit guides would like to work with you, who are also of the highest light, who want to work with the highest version of yourself, okay? That's often how I've found mine before I got even more practiced with tarot and Lenormand, that kind of thing. I encourage you to do the same. You might be able to find the names, in fact, of some of the deities that you are meant to work with. But also, if you can, Start to reach out towards your ancestors in ways that are meaningful to you, such as cooking a meal that you associate with a grandparent, for instance. And that's just an example, okay? That may be a way to help you get back in touch. That may be a way to help you get further in contact with them if you've already been in contact with them. Okay? This is a magical, pivotal time. Portals are once again being opened all over the place because ancestors, deities, guides are activating, because stuff here on this side of the veil, stuff here is activating. So there's kind of a push and pull tug right now. There's a lot of activity going on. This is the time to be calm, to be grounded, and to be stable, and to follow a meditative practice if you haven't already started one, okay? And there are a bunch of great, wonderful beginner meditation videos here on YouTube that are available for free, and I use them, okay? So, if you feel a lot of heavy energy going into the month of May, you're not alone, and it's very real. You're feeling something that's very real. It's not your imagination, okay? Once again, a blessed Beltane to you, a happy May Day. I hope that you have a good day, and I hope that you take care. I appreciate you sticking around.